In the darkest corners of myth and legend, unspeakable horrors lurk, creatures born not just to frighten but to haunt. From ancient texts to whispered tales, these monsters have terrified generations with their grotesque forms and nightmarish powers. In this video we journey from shadows to horror to uncover the 10 most terrifying mythical creatures ever imagined. These aren't just beasts, they are symbols of fear, chaos, and death. So, brace yourself as we dive into the chilling depths of folklore and face the monsters that still haunt humanity's darkest dreams. Are you ready to meet the creatures nightmares are made of? From shadows to horror, 10 most terrifying mythical creatures. Throughout human history, darkness has stirred the imagination. Every culture, ancient and modern, has peered into the unknown and pulled from it creatures of unimaginable terror. These mythical beings weren't just tales for children. They were warnings, symbols of chaos, reminders of death, and explanations for the fears that haunted our ancestors. These monsters come from shadowed myths, whispered legends, and horror passed through generations. Below are 10 of the most terrifying mythical creatures ever imagined, beings that turned fear into folklore. 1. Kumisats, the death bat god, Maya mythology. In the ancient Maya pantheon, few beings evoke as much dread as Kumisats, the bat god of death, sacrifice, and night. His name means death bat, and he is most famously known for his appearance in the Popol Vuh, the sacred text of the Kitsch Maya. In this tale, the hero twins, divine brothers sent to the underworld, must survive several death trials. One of these is the House of Bats, a dark chamber filled with monstrous creatures. Kumisats decapitates one of the twins in a single strike, emerging as a creature of pure fear and finality. With his grotesque bat face, razor-sharp claws, and thirst for blood, Kumisats may be one of the earliest mythic influences on the modern vampire. His monstrous image combined the terrors of disease, bats carried plagues, sacrifice, his appetite for human hearts, and the night itself. 2. Ammit, the devourer of souls, Egyptian mythology. To the ancient Egyptians, death was not the end but a trial. When a person died, their heart was weighed against the feather of Ma'at, truth and justice. If the heart was impure, it was fed to Ammit, a chimeric demon made from the 3 most dangerous animals known to Egypt: lion, crocodile, and hippopotamus. Unlike other monsters, Ammit did not torment. She offered oblivion, complete annihilation. There was no afterlife for those she devoured. No punishment. No memory. Her terror lay in finality. While many underworld creatures in myth threaten torture or eternal torment, Ammit threatens non-existence. 3. Typhon, the father of all monsters, Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, the gods themselves feared Typhon, a monstrous storm giant born from Gaia to punish Zeus. His form was pure horror, a massive humanoid body with serpents for legs, dragon wings, and a head that reached the stars. Fire erupted from his eyes, and his voice was a cacophony of animal screeches. Typhon challenged the Olympian gods, defeated Zeus initially, and tore the sinews from his body. Only through cunning was Zeus able to recover and bury Typhon beneath Mount Etna. Typhon wasn't just a monster, he was a cosmic force of destruction, chaos, and fear of nature unbound. Volcanic eruptions and earthquakes were attributed to his restless rage. 4. Wendigo, the starving spirit, Algonquian mythology. In the cold, desolate forests of North America, the Algonquian peoples feared a creature born of winter and cannibalism: the Wendigo. This spirit is said to possess humans who consume the flesh of others, transforming them into emaciated, monstrous beings with sunken eyes, elongated limbs, and a heartless hunger. The Wendigo embodies greed, hunger, and the breakdown of morality in the face of survival. It grows with each victim, its starvation never satisfied. More than a physical monster, the Wendigo is a metaphor for the darkness in human nature, and the terrible price of crossing moral boundaries. 5. Jorogumo, the binding bride, Japanese mythology. Elegant, seductive, deadly. The Jorogumo, or binding bride spider, is a beautiful woman who lures unsuspecting men into her home, only to trap them in her web and devour them. In truth, she is a monstrous spider demon that transforms into a woman to feed on human flesh. Jorogumo stories often revolve around deception, lust, and death. In one tale, a man in love with her discovers her true form too late, becoming tangled in both emotional and literal webs. The horror here is not just physical but psychological, a slow seduction that ends in paralysis and being eaten alive. 6. Charybdis, the devouring whirlpool, Greek mythology. On one side of a narrow sea passage was Scylla, a six-headed sea monster. On the other side, Charybdis, a massive, gaping whirlpool that swallowed entire ships whole. In the Odyssey, Odysseus must choose which terror to face, and Charybdis represents destruction beyond comprehension. Charybdis has no face, no personality, no moral alignment. She is destruction incarnate. The monster here is nature at its most unforgiving, an unstoppable force with no consciousness, no remorse, and no way to fight back. Her terror is existential, that something can destroy you utterly without even noticing. 7. Pontianak, the vengeful spirit, Malay mythology. Originating from Southeast Asia, particularly Malaysian and Indonesian folklore, the Pontianak is the restless spirit of a woman who died in childbirth. She appears as a pale, beautiful woman with long black hair, until she strikes. Then her features contort into horror, her nails grow long, and her shriek paralyzes prey. She preys on men, often seducing them before tearing them apart. Babies' cries are said to signal her presence. The Pontianak is terrifying because she fuses beauty with rot, sorrow with rage. She is grief weaponized, stalking the living out of a refusal to die quietly. 8. Baba Yaga, the forest witch, Slavic mythology. In the deep woods of Slavic myth, Baba Yaga lives in a hut that stands on chicken legs, surrounded by a fence of human bones. She is a witch, yes, but more than that, she is a force of ancient, feral magic. Sometimes helpful, often cruel, she eats those who fail her tests, especially children. Baba Yaga represents the unpredictable face of nature and death. She is grandmother and butcher, mother and monster. In many ways, she is the witch archetype before Western traditions reshaped it. A crone as old as time itself, wise and wrathful. 9. Penanggalan, the floating head vampire, Malay mythology. Few creatures are as grotesque and unsettling as the Penanggalan, a floating woman's head with her spine and internal organs trailing below her. By day, she lives among humans. By night, she detaches her head and flies through the air, hunting for blood, especially that of pregnant women and newborns. She emits an eerie glow and a stench of vinegar, used to keep her entrails supple. Homes must be protected with thorny branches to ensnare her organs. The Penanggalan blends body horror, betrayal, and helplessness into a single terrifying entity, a monster you might already know hiding in plain sight. 10. Nuchlavi, the skinless horror, Scottish mythology. From the Orkney Islands of Scotland comes the Nuchlavi, a grotesque creature of the sea and plague. It is horse-shaped with a humanoid torso fused to its back, its body completely skinless, revealing black blood pumping through yellow veins. Its breath withers crops and kills livestock. When it emerges from the sea, it brings disease and ruin. Only fresh water can stop it, which is why locals feared even crossing streams when the Nuchlavi was rumored to be near. With no skin, no mercy, and no cure for what follows in its wake, the Nuchlavi is one of mythology's most grotesque abominations. Monsters as mirrors. What makes these mythical creatures terrifying isn't just their gruesome forms or violent acts, it's what they represent. Each monster is a mirror, reflecting the fears, struggles, and moral boundaries of the cultures that created them.